be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, March 31st, 2022. Let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I know people like to say that nothing good happens overnight, and in most cases that's true. But I'll tell you what, if you just watched Hadi Choopan from a distance, well, it kind of feels like he wakes up in the morning and just magically looks better than he did the day before. And in some of the videos that we've seen from Hadi's camp lately, he's looked noticeably bigger than he has for most of the off-season, which is interesting because it might be a sign that they're trying to play the size game in an attempt to beat out Ramy this year. I think it goes without saying that Hadi is one of the most unique talents that we have in bodybuilding. And if there's a chance that we get to see him and Ramy battling it out and trading shots for the biggest prize in the sport, we could end up having one of the most exciting Olympia weekends that our fans have ever seen. Now that the gas prices are going up, there are some experts predicting that, well, the increased cost of fuel will hit the travel industry hard because the cost of airfare will start to rise as well. If you have your miles saved up, now might be a good time to book a flight to Japan on the cheap because rumor has it that the Tokyo Grand Prix is going to be the next stop for the good doctor Sunny Andrews on her 2022 World Tour. Even though she's been relatively quiet about what her plans for the season are since she finished third at the Arnold a few weeks ago. In the comment section on one of her posts last week, Sunny dropped a few not-so-subtle hints about the possibility of her competing in Tokyo in August. Last season, Sunny might have been the busiest woman in wellness because it seemed like she was at one show or another every other weekend. So if she really is adding a trip to Japan to her to-do list, don't be surprised if we see her pop up somewhere else between now and then, because history tells us that she doesn't tend to sit idle for very long. I know they say milk does a body good, but damn, someone needs to find out where Austin Karr is getting his 2% from, because things are starting to look crazy over there based on what we've seen lately. A few days ago, Austin posted a handful of off-season updates where he showed off his current condition, which we're told is in the neighborhood of somewhere around 245 pounds. At the moment, he hasn't made any official statements about moving up from the 212 to the open class, but you would assume that it's a done deal at this point, considering how far over the limit he is at this point. In the past, we've seen Austin give some of the best athletes in the 212 all they can handle. So as long as he doesn't compromise his symmetry to keep the new muscle, there's no reason to think he won't keep doing that in the open class, assuming he picks his spots correctly. And we're closing out the show today by wishing a melancholy trails to powerlifting icon Louie Simmons, who passed away last week at the age of 74. For those of you who don't know, Louie Simmons is arguably the most influential man in the history of powerlifting, and his gym, Westside Barbell, has produced countless numbers of champions and all-time record holders. To be completely honest, I don't think it's possible to overstate how influential Louie was on the strength community, because pretty much everything that we see today in modern powerlifting, and even some of what we athletes are doing in bodybuilding, is rooted in Louie's methods. The man was an icon in every sense of the word, and there are thousands, and I mean literally thousands of athletes who would not be where they are today if it weren't for him. So from all of us here at the studio, I'd like to send my deepest condolences out to all of Louie's family and friends. He'll be truly missed.